All right, fellas, man, it's been a while, but there's been some talk about, you know, exactly are we doing, right? BBR, is it Bloodbath? What is it? Okay, so BBR is the last map was version 6, now, or version 5. They were the same map. I have a BB5 map. BB5 and BB6 are the same. There are a few maps out there that say 6 on it just because when I had the event last year, when I had them printed, they said 6. But aside from that, they're exactly the same. So what this is, when this is the end of BBR the genre, like as far as like being a rule set for Axis and allies. Okay, the BBR, as we know, like so many changes have been applied to the Axis and Allies G40. It's really not even G40 anymore. The only thing really that was G40 was kind of the map. I mean, yeah, the map was based off of the G40, so every change that went into it was I try to still be G40, but the map's not the same. I mean, we have a small Africa, we have a large Europe. A lot of the borders have changed, a lot of the C zones have changed, the IPCs have changed, the names of the territories have changed. I mean, there's a lot has been changed. I mean, we got the Gobi Desert, the pass. I mean, it's not even the same map really as G40, but it was still made with that setup and always trying to be close to G40 as possible in the setup and the map. Try to do baby steps on all the alterations. Well, I didn't want to do that anymore. I wanted to move on from doing a variant, right? I feel like there was enough changes in the game, in the mechanics and everything to it doesn't need to be Axis and Allies Bloodbath rule set anymore. It's really Bloodbath. So the next step was we needed a new map, to make it even different than G40. Okay, so the new map now is Joe did a video the other day, but you can see how it's split in different areas. Okay, so not only is the color palette a little bit different than, and that's another thing too, the BBR color palette has always been different than the G40. So let's just go ahead and start seeing some noticing of different things. And I'll slide the whole thing off in a minute, but just so we can see some of the highlights. So you can see here, for example, South America, you have all those neutrals and, you have the Pacific Ocean right here, which is actually on the Atlantic side of the map. And now we just changed all that. Everything has been cut differently. Some of the C zones have changed, but I'll get into a minute. I just wanted to point out, that's really the main difference as far as the map. The map is just slightly centered differently. I still kept my small Africa and large Europe. I mean, that was mine anyways, so I just kept it. But we can go ahead and pull this off now. So, or actually, let me go back. Let me go back. So, the BBR variant, right, is done. There's no reason for me to go back to this map because the new map works with everything. Right? So we just get rid of this now. We don't need that anymore. Now, this is the Bloodbath 40 map. And this map will work with the BBR 6 rules. It would actually work with any rule book you have, as all of the maps have, integrated enough to, no matter what rule book you use of the BBR, it's pretty much going to work on the map. So Bloodbath 40, or we can call it, BB7, whatever. It has a new setup because obviously it's a different map. There's more territories in Russia. This has all been reworked. these have been reworked. Everything has really been reworked. Now, it may look similar to the other map, but there's a lot of nuances that are different. So this map right here does work for BB7 or slash, Bloodbath 1940. It works for actually Bloodbath 1941, and it goes if you don't want to move on to the Bloodbath genre, you can still use this map on the BBR rule set for the G40. It's just going to be a new battleground, right? It's just like a new battlefield for you to test things. And if your game's getting a little stale using the other map, the new nuances on this one should eliminate some of those things, right? Because you can't really do the exact same things. I mean, yeah, you can, but there's going to be you have to learn the new nuances and whatnot. Like, for example, the Calcutta Crush. I mean, you can't. Japan can't even take over Yunnan on turn one. So there's different things you're going to have to do to get that. Going straight in from Moscow. There's another range of territories here, and a lot of that is too because of the 41 setup. Germany's way over here on 41 setup, so you can't have Moscow can't be the next place over. So as far as there are some new VPs, which I do not recommend using on the other map, because the other map, for one, when I say the other map, the old Bloodbath 5 and 6, the new one of the new VPs is the strict neutrals. Well, the old map has so many strict neutrals. That's one thing on this one that have been removed. You'll notice there is no strict neutrals in Africa. They've all been eliminated. The strict neutrals in South America, have been combined. There's Bolivia, Paraguay have been combined to one. Uruguay is not even a strict neutral no more. Which technically they went non-neutral in 41 because this on the 41 map. But by the time you play round one, you kind of end 41 anyway. So they don't need to be strict neutral. Over here, Ecuador and Peru were combined. So there's a lot less strict neutrals because one of the VPs is control 5 of the 9 strict neutrals. So, like I said, the other map is you just can't do it. A new one also is called genocide, which is eliminating one whole entity of an allied force, whether it be China, even if it be France or whatever. The setup change has been made, so there's not French guys sitting on London for the whole game that you can never kill unless you did a London invasion. China is actually harder to eliminate. So, and that's with the setup. That's with the territories, how they range. So I don't think genocide would be a good one for the other map neither, because China, if that's what you want to do, you can wipe them out pretty easily. There is a new tech, which you can probably use the new tech on BB6. You can probably get away with that one. There's one more oil is in Venezuela, and there is a few more resources, one of which is Belgian Congo. There's a new resource in Western Australia, new resource in Tibet, and along a whole other strict neutral here is Tibet. Those 3 were added. A few of the walk-ons, like Sicily has been added for a while, but a lot of people, I guess, I don't think have noticed it. But you land in Sicily, you can go walk on. That's actually been there for a little bit. But the new walk-on is here is the Kuril Islands. So some of the C zones have changed as far as range. It's you have to go in there and find those new nuances. But so to answer people's questions about Bloodbath and BBR, it's Bloodbath is right still BBR. It's just like we moved on from that old map. So basically, you can grab your 6 rule book and play on this map. Now there isn't a 7 rule book or a Bloodbath 40 rule book in itself yet, because I want the Bloodbath 40 and 41 book to be the same, like in the same entity. Like, for example, this map, you can play 40 on it, but there's also a 40. You can play 41 on it. There's also a 41 version of the map you can play 40 on, or you can play the BB6 on. All the everything now that is coming out, the card deck, the map, the rule book is all gonna interchangeable. Like you can play them all on the same rule book. You can play them all on one of the maps you want. For the new stuff, like you can't use a BB6 map and play the new stuff, but from now and moving forward, you use this map or the 41 map, because depending on which one you want to print, basically it's just, for example, all these territories will be German and Italy. They're just the roundels are different. So whatever version you play, you just put the other roundels there when you start and whatnot. So, but the territories are the same, the values are the same, the C zones are the same. Everything is exactly the same between the 40, but between the 40 map and the 41 map of Bloodbath. So you can still play BBR. You can keep your old stuff and play that. Or if you want to start using some of the new features, I recommend you use this map and not the old map. Some of those features just are not going to work on that old map. So I guess that's all I got to say about that. So I've been meaning to do this video for a long time, showing off the map. It just, busy. So let me see here. Anything else important? There's a new Lend-Lease. Russia has 3 Lend-Leases now. They just pick 2 of the 3. So if you're down one, you automatically just do the other 2 unless you're down all of them. You know what I mean? So another feature, I guess, about this map really quick is you'll see roundels. You'll see a roundel, and you'll see a smaller roundel. And sometimes they're on the left, and sometimes they're on the right. Okay, so if these roundels here, see, these are more on the left. Now this is more dominant in the 41 map because the Axis have like dominated everything, so there's a lot more of that going on. But if it's on the right hand side and this is liberated by anybody, it has to go to that country. Okay, so if in this example, anything, if this was liberated, it has to go to China. Like no one else can claim it. Let me see here. And this one, like for example, here you have Kenya and the Sudan are both on the left. Well, that means if this was taken and then it was liberated, whoever liberated it has the option to keep it. Because actually, historically, these were actually, the Commonwealth actually liberated these. So if the Commonwealth said liberated them now, it would be between them and UK who gets this. You can give them to UK if you want, but if you don't want to, you can keep it. And that's the same thing really for here. What's awesome about this is when you have a big landing force right here, sometimes it sucks to take Paris because then you lose Paris. Or even if you don't lose Paris, you can't produce here. Paris don't got a lot of money, but you're here. And so the Allies can still produce, say they want to produce their 3 tanks here. They don't have to give this to France. They can keep it. And like I said, that's more apparent on the 41. map, but that's a new feature in this. Let me see here. In the new Bloodbath, there's only 3 territories. There's Japan at 12, and Western United States at 20, and United States over here at 20. Is that is a territory at 12 or more can have more than one IC. You can have 2 industrial complexes on there. So what that means is, you can have, they start with a major. You can add another major if you wanted to, or you can add a minor, so you can produce 13 units here if you wanted to. Same thing here. You can drop another IC here if you wanted to. So that's, that helps you as, like, especially the ally, how before you had 2 over here and you had 1 over here. Production was always slow. So now you have the option to add another industrial complex there. And then, so if you do, then Japan has the option to put an industrial complex here. So the yin and the yang don't get too whack. Okay, so that's a pretty cool feature. What's really cool is when Japan, you just drop you have that minor, then all of a sudden you're dropping like 13 super subs. It's actually pretty dope. That's really it. I basically kept most, like 99% of the rules are the same. Going into moving from the BBR to Bloodbath, you'd be able to sit down on this map and play. Right, there's just a few nuances on the rules that have changed. Now, 41, on the other hand, is still really in development, and that is why the book's not out, because I have to get that really sorted. 41 has a different turn sequence, a different turn of events, and whatnot, but it's still the same rules. It's just that part is a little different, and that's still being worked on. But I had to do this first because the event is coming up. Okay, all right. Another thing, just real quick. The Sahara Desert, you can fly over now with the bomber, whether heavy bomber or regular strategic bomber. You can do. There's some nuanced quirks in here. You can fly in, zip out, and do things. There's a few quirks. I'm not going to point them all out because, I want you guys to discover them. Maybe you'll discover it and your opponent doesn't yet, and you can do something really cool on them. But this is it, fellas. This is it. So this map file now you get both map files. It's $45 for the 40 map and the 41 map. And I say map, I mean the files, right? And you go print them. So I will put a description, what do you call it? In the description, or not the description, in the notes or whatever you call it on the bottom of the video. I'll have the data to get the map file if you want to proceed with that. So the card decks are up as well. No, they're not as well. I forgot to post that. Yeah, the card decks actually have been up for a while, and I keep forgetting to post them. So I'll make sure I get on that. I've also put the Discord link. That's where the setup charts are, the new income tracker, the roundels to punch out, and all that stuff. So I'll get that posted as well in this video. And I guess that's it. I do gotta do another video coming up, probably today or tomorrow. I do have I had some people cancel for the event, so if you and a buddy, or just you yourself, want to come to Atlanta in a few weeks, let me know, and we can probably get you here. All right, fellas. Guess that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting Bloodbath all these years, man. We're going on 7 years now. So thank you guys, and I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, later.